Alright, what is up YouTube? Superboy Alan back with another video. I'm in Shanshan Park near the Elephant Mountain hiking trail in Taiwan, and I'm currently getting cooked alive by mosquitoes, so I'm gonna make this stream of thought video as quick as possible. So for context, I was working at a AI startup, Series B startup based out in Berlin as a product marketing manager, and I got laid off. Wow, it's been around 4 months, I'd say already. And I think most people's gut reactions when they get laid off from a job, it's to find another job immediately. And I was thinking about doing that same thing, but instead I decided to travel to Manila. Spent like 3 weeks around Manila. I know it's not a common place to visit, but I really enjoyed my time there. As long as you stay in BGC and Makati, it's relatively safe for a Westerner. And then went to my sister's wedding in Mexico for a week. Went back to California, stayed a few days there at home just to reset, and then I went out to Japan for 3 weeks, and now I'm here in Taiwan. I think it's been around a week and a half of me spending time out here, and it's been really refreshing to travel and experience new cultures, not as just a tourist, right? I think, right, when you're traveling and most people just take a 2-week PTO, you kind of jam pack your days to do all the touristy activities and hit as many food spots and see as many sites as possible. But fortunately for me, I've had the luxury of time because I have no obligations really, and I've been really able to just take the opportunity to live or like travel to new cultures and get the sense I'm living like a local. I'm not doing touristy things every day. I'm building routines. I'm going to the gym. I'm eating at the same breakfast spots every day. I'm going on the same walks. I'm going to coffee shops, making videos, and essentially building a routine in around 3 to 4 days, right? And making these videos has been really helpful to give me a sense of purpose and make sure that I don't get too bored while I'm traveling, because I know it can get pretty boring when you travel for a while and you're kind of seen places already. And I'm fortunate enough the last like 5 or 6 years of working, I've saved up enough money where I'm able to travel and kind of live the life I'm living right now. But eventually I'm gonna have to go back to work because I've been kind of going through my savings now. And I think not jumping into a job immediately has been good for me to reflect on exactly what I want from my next role. I think it's become clear to me that I want to be able to have the bandwidth to continue to make these videos. I think it's important for me to have an identity outside of work, but also like I do want to continue to build wealth for myself and also find a job that I enjoy doing. And that's something I'll figure out once I begin to interview and apply for roles and read job descriptions again. But I think it was a really good move for me not to immediately when I got laid off to begin looking for a new job, because I think the extra time I needed to reflect and think about my next steps has been really important, because I finally felt like after 3 months I'm able to not feel like I'm so burnt out and tired. Like I think recently, like a month ago, I was able to look at job descriptions again, and then I was just sitting at a coffee shop the other day. I was like, oh, maybe I could go back to work, and it gives me a sense of working on a team again, but I want to make sure I'm prioritizing the things I still am passionate about, like continuing to make these videos. So I need to find that right balance when I begin interviewing, right? But I'm going to be more intentional about what companies I target. In the past, I've really just targeted companies based off how much they're going to pay me and how quickly I can get the job, and I would just go for it. But this job search might take 6 months. I don't know. It could be 3 months. It could be a year. We'll see. But we're going to be really intentional about where I interview, where I ultimately decide to work. I know the job market's tough right now in the tech industry, but I'm going to be intentional about my next steps, and getting laid off from my job working in AI, obviously not ideal. You lose the sense of your identity, you lose that steady paycheck, health benefits, that routine, but it's also an opportunity to take it as a blessing in disguise, as a redirection to choose a better fit for you. So that's where I'm at right now. I think it's been through 4 months now since I've been laid off. I'm finally getting over my burnout phase, and I'm able to think a little bit more clearly on what I want to do next. I think eventually, right, the thinking is going to have to turn into action, and then the action is going to be able to give me more clarity on what exactly the next step should be. But once I'm out in the job market, we'll see. And I'm truly blessed to be in this position where I've been able to travel the last 2.5, 3 months, experience new cultures, essentially live like a local a little bit. And that's really how I like to travel. I kind of not do all the touristy stuff. I want to get a real feel of how it feels like when you're living in the city. But just wanted to outline my next steps and what I'm thinking about and how I've handled my layoff. And maybe you guys can take some learnings too if you guys have been laid off recently. Just taking some time for yourself at home, doing your own thing, right? You don't have to be traveling and seeing the world. It could just be like a reset at home and just taking that time for yourself. But thanks for tuning into my stream of thought video for today. I'll see everybody in the next one.